Hey everyone, Chris van der Kerk here at Bluerhino Safaris. I'm busy finishing off my 2025 year tours, just making sure that the tours that I want to do is all there. Running out of time now, so maybe one or two small adjustments that I'll make, and then we'll be done. But I wanted to introduce you to my Kgalagadi trip in March 2025. I haven't had it on the cards for a while because I've been thinking about where I want to go and what I want to do in March. And just as a brief introduction, it's always really difficult to establish exactly when you want to do what. I know when I want to do the wildebeest migration because the migration is not available all year round. It is only available in certain periods of the year, in certain places of the year, because the migration keeps moving. You can always visit the Serengeti, but the wildebeest are not always there. You have to be alert to the fact that they react to the weather and the rains and everything. So you know where to go and look for them, which months are out, which months are good. The same goes for the bats in Zambia. You need to know when the bats are there. You need to know when you can cross the Limpopo River between South Africa and Mozambique into Konarizu. You want to know when the elephants are back in the Moremi and so on and so forth. So something that I would often want to do is do Central Kalahari. Central Kalahari is really pretty when it's green. But in March next year with La Nina coming through, it might be quite wet in Central Kalahari in March. So I don't want to do Central Kalahari. And therefore I decided, let me do Kgalagadi. Kgalagadi, even in a wet year, is a nice trip. It's very sandy, so you don't have a lot of mud to contend with. It's very sandy, and a wet year just changes what it looks like. So I really enjoy doing Kgalagadi when it's green. There's a lot of butterflies, there's a lot of birds, there's animals out there, it's green. It really is full of life if you go to Kgalagadi in March. So 2025, there is a March trip for Kgalagadi. You can go onto my website and you'll find it there already. I have the dates. I'm just waiting for Botswana Parks Board to confirm for me from their side. But otherwise, you'll see there Kgalagadi and Mabua. We're doing Kgalagadi and Mabua, so it'll be for 7 nights. 10th of March 2025, we meet at Bluerhino. It's a 7-night tour, 7 nights in the park. Our last night is again at Bluerhino on the way out. 10,700 per person sharing, including your VAT, and that's for SADC people. If you're an international guest, there's a additional charge because of the park fees that these days you pay as an international person. The distance in the park at 1,200 kilometers that we'll go from Bluerhino through Mabua all the way back, Mata and down. Maximum 11 people. This is always a small group. I booked 2 campsites just to fit both groups in, or to fit the group in, but it's always a small group because of the limitation on the eco route that we do in Botswana. So I will take 10 people, 11 people, so 5 doubles and a single, or maybe one vehicle has 3 people in it, but so it's roughly 4 or 5 vehicles, and that is it. I can't do more than that. As I say, it's on the website, so you can have a look there. But let's briefly go through the tour itself. We will meet at Bluerhino. You don't need a passport. We are going into the Botswana side, but we are not leaving the park, so you don't need a passport at all. So that makes life a little bit easier. And we, on the first day, drive up to Nosop, fill up at Nosop, do our last bit of shopping at Nosop, and then head over to Matopi. One of the Matopis is where we'll sleep for the first night, and then a lovely drive. This is the transit road they talk about. It is a 2-way road. You can travel in both directions on it, but we'll sleep at Matopi for the first night. So the second night. That night, long drop, no showers. It's really in the bush already, so it's really a lot of fun. We have to take our water, and it's a nice campfire, starry nights. Green around us. It's brilliant. It's just absolutely glorious to be in this area in March. The next day we head over to the Mabua area and up to Mabua Pan for 2 nights. We will sleep at Mabua Pan for 2 nights. The pan at that stage might have a little bit of water in it, which is very scarce to see. Maybe once a year, but then you have to be there for a week or 2 and then the water is gone again. So that'll be cool to see. Otherwise, we'll just be there for the 2 nights. I'll drive around in the Mabua area and I'll show you the different campsites, and we'll have a look around the area just to familiarize yourself with it. Then after the 2 nights are done, we start with the eco route. Eco route takes basically 2 days or 2 half days to complete, and you sleep at Mosimane in the middle. So this is a one directional route. You can only travel from Mabua to Nosop, and it's only one group allowed per route per day. So if we are on the route, nobody else is allowed to be there, and that makes it really exclusive for us. So we'll sleep at Mosimane. I've always had good fun at Mosimane. There's always lions around there. A really nice place, and especially when it's wet. We'll walk onto the pan and I'll show you the salt licks that the animals lick, and we'll just have some fun there. It's really great to go out there. From there we head over out, get back to Nosop, check our fuel, grab something from the shop, and then drive around to Matamata for the night. And then the next day is a short day, Matamata to Tuarefieren, so we'll have a late morning, a bit of brunch, and then an easy drive down to Tuarefieren, stop there for the night, and that will be our last night at Tuarefieren. If you need to get back to South Africa, you need to get back home, and you don't want to do that night in Tuarefieren, you can just skip it. We can say goodbye at Matamata. You can be at Tuarefieren at lunchtime, you can be in Uppington in the afternoon. So it will make it a little bit shorter for those who needs a slightly shorter time. For the rest of us, we'll just have a nice easy day, stop at Okoloni and have some coffee and chat about stuff, and maybe take 1 or 2 little routes and see what we can see around there. So it will be a brilliant route, very nice to travel. You need a 4x4. I always say with low range, but modern vehicles don't all have low ranges, but there is a bit of sand driving involved. Not to worry, I take all my recovery equipment, so you don't have to worry about any equipment to take along. Just a spade, which you'll need in any case to dig a hole for your latrine. And then also a tire pump is nice. If you don't have one, please don't spend millions on a tire pump. I have one, I can help you with it. But if you have one, bring it, because we will let down tire pressures and to drive on the sand and just make it more comfortable. And at the end of that, you always want to pump up. You can do it in Nosop, so technically you don't really need a pump, but it's nice to have one. If you want to tow, I would prefer no caravans, because you might get 1 or 2 dunes that is just a little bit too steep, that you have to go a little bit too fast, and you could always bend or break something if you drag a caravan over there. Trailers generally do well. I've had trailers through there before. Then it normally determines more on your vehicle that you tow with. Make sure you have enough power, because if you drag a trailer through thick sand, then it is a lot of work. You put a lot of strain on the vehicle, and if it's underpowered, it might overheat. So make sure that your towing vehicle is a good vehicle. Generally these days the vehicles are good, no problems there. Otherwise, it's brilliant, it's fun. There's water at Nosop, there's everything is there. So for the 4 nights that we are out in the Mabua area, we'll get everything that we need before we go out, and we'll be sorted once we get back again. Bush showers, you don't have to go and buy showers. I'll bring a bush shower if you need one. Normally guys just go with wet wipes, or they have a little bush shower or something like that. But that's something that you deal with at the time. Otherwise, if you want to go, let me know. As I say, limited space. It's on the 10th of March next year, 7 days. Lovely, with all the butterflies and the summer birds still around. It's going to be a great trip. And if you haven't seen Mabua, this is the time. Make your booking, join me, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. Otherwise, stay safe. Have a look at my website. There's some other routes available as well. Lesotho has just been put on there. I have one more spot in Kukuland if you want to go. I have one more spot in Orange River if you wanted to go. Otherwise, trips are busy filling up very quickly. There's another 3rd Zimbabwe trip in August where I have some space if you want to go. So let me know as soon as you can. Otherwise, have a great day. I'll see you on the next trip. Cheers.